Hello. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit of a problem that a lot of people may not be aware that you're facing, and that is with our peripheral vision. For example, for starters, just place your hand in front of your face and then move it progressively to the sides, all the way to the sides, like you can see here, yeah. And at this position, you should be able to see your finger with your face facing forward, your eyes forward, and without you going all squint-eyed, you should be able to see your finger. If you can see your finger, then your peripheral vision is good enough. This comes handy when you are in the traffic and you don't have to, well, you have your rearview mirrors, but you should be able to see peripherally well enough so that you are aware of noticing your position vis-a-vis other travelers, riders, drivers. Yeah, that's one thing. When you're walking on the street too, what maintains safety is when you're able to see foveal, which is just the straight focused vision, and the peripheral vision, which is the side, your ability to see even from the sides. Yeah. Now there are several factors because of which our peripheral vision becomes narrow. We become like a horse. We're only seeing so much. We continue to see that, and that also affects our experience of living, such that we become kind of concreted. We are become kind of narrow-minded because our vision happens to be fixed in narrow ways. When our vision is able to be more open, peripherally also open, then our mind also tends to be less narrow. Now there is a neuronal, experiential, ontological, big words. Okay, so there is a physiological reason why narrow-mindedness may be coming from narrowed vision. We will go into those details, but then that'll be more the science and the how-tos and all of that stuff. That may be complicated and may not really serve the purpose of you actually being able to have a broader vision. So for starters, we can go into that later if interested, but I think it would be better if you're going to experience what is possible from having a broader vision. Yeah, that also enhances your experience of living, that also enhances your state of well-being, that also gives you a sense of being more connected than as though you're living a life from a small space. Yeah, our vision has so much to do with those experiences. So in the practice of Nirbij Yoga, what we do is we do not have to use this, but this is quite a reference for how much of progress you're making. Yeah, you'll be able to kind of notice how much of progress you're making. For this, it is important to be able to feel your eyes without having to look into the mirror or touch your skin and then feel your eyes. Because in improving the peripheral vision, it is important for you to pay attention to the tissues of your eyes through your nervous innervation. Your muscles are innervated by nerves. For that, you should be able to at least be able to pay attention to your corners of your eye. Should be able to, okay, when I say should be able to, it becomes a should and must, and like if you're not able to, then that's something bad. Well, it is not really bad. It's just that you're not able to feel or sense the corners of your eyes right now. And that may be one of the reasons which may be maintaining your peripheral vision being this way. Okay? So in the practice of Nirbij Yoga, bring your attention to your face and notice any tension about the sides of your eyes. Okay? Above, below, sides of your eyes. If you can notice any tension, notice the muscles, or notice the different components of that tension. For example, there could be when you are moving your eyes to the left or to the right, there could be tensions. Otherwise, if you're just going to look in one place, maybe there is no tension. Maybe if you're looking to the left or to the right, then you'll notice changes in the tension, which is also good enough for a start. Okay, so I'm not going to say the whole thing, but I'm going to just, because this Nirbija Yoga is a single multifaceted practice that moves to stages of development. Now, all at once may be too much to notice. So I'm going to put small snippets so that once you're able to pay attention to this, then it becomes possible for you to now move to the next stage. Okay. Why I'm also saying this is like, like you're going to be, you're learning something new. It's a different method of yoga. So it's like in a different kind of a school where you have to learn the ABCD before you can learn the forming sentences and then reading books from it. Yeah, so that makes sense. So the different method of learning. This is a different method of yoga. So if you can pay attention to the tension, if you can notice tension when you're moving your eyes, when you have your head down, head up, for example, and can also in some way notice where your eyes is in relationship with these tensions. Great progress. Okay. Do come back here at a later time when you feel more comfortable. I will keep posting one thing or the other, or you could contact me, and then you could take your ability to develop your peripheral vision better. Yeah. Okay. This also helps in developing clarity of thinking, but this is also a mindfulness practice. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Little at a time. Yeah. A little care goes a long way in having your peripheral vision become really healthy enough that you are safe for yourself and for people around you.